Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So it doesn't mean that I don't look at everything because I do, but we take a lot of time to look at the spiritual blocks of shadow, see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why your person's doing what they're doing. Really important when you're dealing with wounded people. They wear masks, they create facades and illusions. So it's really important because we'll be able to then look at the situation from your perception through it differently. So we can then integrate different habits, behaviorisms, how you deal with this person. See, it's all about healing the effects of trauma. So, like I said, I do look at everything, but we focus on those blocks, those shadows, so that you can integrate those spiritual lessons, because that's really what a block is representing. It means that you haven't learned a lesson. You're stuck in a perception. So, in order to quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience, whether or not that's with this person or not, you would have to understand how you're contributing to the imbalances and then recreate balance within your life. Obviously, this person is just a manifestation of what needs to be healed with inside of you, what you need, like what awarenesses that you need to awaken to become a better version of yourself, really. Because the universe is always bringing you people and situations and experiences that are helping you heal. So that's why, like I said, I like to do these readings because, like I said, this is confusing. The person's stuck, but there's an internal knowing and there's a perseverance. Like even though they're stuck right now, they're going to get out of it. They know that whatever the situation is that they're in, whatever it is they're stuck. I feel like somebody's like in a court thing, and then others might be going through a divorce, a separation. They know that they're going to, will be a end to whatever this is. Eventually, the court is not, they're going to get through it and they're going to either have to pay a fine, like do time, do whatever it is, and it's going to be done and over with. And that they know that they're going to have pulled on the strength within to get through it. They don't know how they're going to get through it. And that they just want to be comfortable. They just want to be, they're looking around at their life and they're seeing like who's in their life and who has been in their life that has actually like brought something to the table and or at least made them comfortable. I feel like this person went through like an over like a heal, like they're like it's almost like anything that wasn't working in this person's life is now not in their life, but there's not much in their life now. That's the problem. So I feel like this person is like looking around at people to see who they can reconnect with. I feel like they weren't coming towards you because they were in some sort of legal issues or again, major divorce, some sort of transition that wasn't allowing them to like the time, the energy to like come towards you. And when you were dealing with them prior, it's like they played a lot of games. So I feel like they didn't really know what they wanted, and I also feel like for some, if they were still connected to somebody, they knew that they weren't ever really going to be able to offer you anything. They didn't know what was happening, actually. I heard in this when you first met this person, because I feel like for a lot of you, it was not like yesterday, it was actually a few years ago. They were still connected to somebody else. And they didn't really know what they wanted. They knew that they weren't really happy where they were, but this person doesn't really like change. But the problem is that this person, like they've gotten burned before in a previous relationship, and I feel like they also trusted the person that they were with, which was a big mistake. But I also feel like you have been burned before. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like they played a lot of games, and you're like, you've burned me before. It's like because they would come close, but they would never come close enough to build an emotional bond. And the thing is, this person knew that they would. So I feel like they didn't give you time. They came in and out. They weren't, if they had people in their life, they were in their life for a good time, not a long time, for them solely to get their needs met, and not really doing much for anybody else when you met this person. Yeah, you always felt like they had one foot out the door because they did, because they couldn't commit to you, because whatever it is that they were wrapped up in. And that's actually how it actually feels right now, that you're like, well, you still aren't giving me time because you're wrapped up in something. Yeah, but the difference is that this person, like, I feel like when they could have came to you, they didn't come to you. There's a sense that they held back, but now they would want to come towards you. It's just they can't do it. Yeah, you always felt like there was still an emotional connection to the ex, and that's what I'm telling you. They didn't know 100% what they wanted. There is a fine line between love and hate, and I feel like with their ex, it was a karmic. And that karmic, it's like as much as that they hate each other, there was also a lot of love there because of the years spent, what they built together, the time shared together, even though I feel like this connection was not a good connection from the very beginning. I just feel like once the karmic like got your person to marry them or be with them, it was like person was like, well, they're a good person. They logicked it. Well, they're a good person. Well, I have a child with them. Well, I built a house with them. Well, they helped me with my business. Well, they did, like, it was a lot of that instead of like that this person had feelings, emotional feelings, bond. So the karmic's able to manipulate this person. And now after many years of being together, there has been an emotional bond because you share experiences. So even though your person's like, I really didn't want to be with this person because there's no sexual attraction to that person. There's no chemistry to with that person. That's the problem. So I feel like they were like, as long as I can have my cake and eat it too, I'm fine because I don't really like change. And they knew that that's not the type of person that you were. It didn't mean that they didn't try and test your boundaries by coming in and out of your life. Now they're in a different situation right now. Yeah, and every time that you like every time like you would want to talk to this person, they wouldn't talk to you. So it was almost like you would have to start an argument in order for them to like soothe you a little bit. Like you're like, it always has to go here. And I feel like it's because the karmic doesn't get what they needed for a long time. And so they weren't giving anything emotionally. Listen, it's not like it was always dead in the bedroom. It was dead for a long time in the bedroom because the relationship wasn't being fed emotionally because there was never really an emotional bond there. It's like, again, the relationship that there might have been passion at one time, but it's like being in a relationship with someone where you rush in 1,000 miles an hour and you think that the person's so gorgeous and so good looking and everything. And then like the next day, like after you like sleep with them, you don't have that feeling anymore. But now the person's pregnant or now the person that like it did something for you, like, and it just wound up like it was the laziness really of your person that like of never really cutting it off with this karmic, knowing that they should have many times, but not because, hey, well, my needs are getting taken care of. It's easier to be a player when you have someone at home. It's like there's no loss. If you don't want me, I don't care. I'll just go on to the next person because I actually have someone at home. And this is kind of like where they were. They were in a place of self-righteousness. They were in a place of, I don't really give a shit. So they loved it when you argued with them. They loved that. They loved it because it's like, oh, like, what is this person being with you? They were being with you or around you or giving you time or energy because for all of you, it's something different. um, yeah, you were feeding their ego. It's like that's what they weren't getting at home. Remember, the sex was dead. So you had someone that was almost like a nanny for the kids, if there were kids, a house cleaner, all the things except for what that person actually wants to be. But because it looks good from the outside, they'll stay, understand, or they wanted to stay until they got to a point where they were like, no, and they wound up meeting somebody else, which I don't think that this person that you're connected to ever experienced, like thought that. They thought that they had that karmic forever. So. And you were like, I got tired of being the bad guy. Like I would tell you what was wrong, and then you'd focus on the fact that I was arguing with you because I needed to be soothed instead of you really like fixing the problem. It's like you would throw me a little bit more breadcrumbs, give me a little bit more time while that person was still at home. But you weren't really giving to that other person either. You just wanted to be a player. You could stay in a low vibration. You just thought that you could have your cake and eat it too. And what you did was withdraw from me. It's again every time. It's again avoidance, avoidance. So it was either my way or the highway, take it or leave it. That was how you dealt with me. Nothing but games, making me feel undervalued. Again, to try to keep me stuck. So was what it was like to be in an actual connection with this person and why this person actually didn't come towards you. Well, let's see how they feel. Let's see how they feel. I'm sending you loving energy. Can you feel it? Like I said, this person is like it's still attached to you because emotionally they have a connection to you. I want to actually also use the hidden truth deck. And then we'll see what they're going to do because understand, like I said, they might like still have feelings for you. It's like to now, I feel like this person, I mean, clearly does have feelings for you now, but I want to see whether they have the guts to do anything about it. Again, because they are like sending you loving energy, and that's mainly because you feel like home. But you feel like home now because they're in between like phases almost, like their relationship is over. So they don't really, there's nothing there. So I do believe that ESP, they are trying to send it, almost like hoping that you would reach out to them. You came closer than anyone to like, again, making this person like leave that karmic. It's like, but they didn't leave that karmic. The karmic is leaving them. So understand that that's the difference. You almost did, but they couldn't. I'm afraid to contact you. Yeah, because there was a sense that they were going to be with you. They made it like they were done and over with that karmic. They weren't. They weren't. That's why it's again because they weren't really sure with you either, and they didn't want you to have that much power because that's how they handle things. They come in and they don't come in correct. So again, if you're still attached to someone, then, but you know that they're leaving, you're still gonna be there for them. You were like, no, you're gonna leave that person and stop playing games with me. And then when you're done and over, then come back to me. I understand they had no intention of coming back. That karmic dumped them. That's why they're like afraid to contact you because they know that they can't put the little spin on it. They know that they made you wait. They know also that they weren't going to come back, but now they're seeing you in different light. Now their entire situation is differently, and you look like a really good thing. Understand, of course you would. And now the person actually thinks that they love you. It's like, again, because they're obsessing about it. Because, oh, well, like I made the wrong choice. So I chose to stay here, and now I got dumped, and now I don't have anything. And now you look really good. Now I want to come to you. Now I feel like you're the one that got away. I love you. But understand that that's because part of it is they probably need your help. Understand that. because they haven't done any healing. It's like it's their situation fell apart. So they're going to act like they've done all this healing. They haven't done the healing. They might have reflected on it a little bit, but it's like, no, they're looking for someone new to like take the place of that karmic. And that's why this person knows it's again right now they're angry. You want to know what they're doing right now? They're angry. And again, they're angry because they conformed. They really didn't want to stay conformed to that karmic, but they didn't want to lose their stuff. They were comfortable. They were too lazy. All the wrong reasons why they stayed with that person, and then that person dumped them. It's again, and needed to be authority. They thought that they were authority. They wanted to like still give off that persona, and at one time they might have been the authority. But the karmic made sure that over the years that they took care of themselves. And this is what, your person never realized. They never realized that, like you can have a person on the side and you can have a person at home doing all that for you. Well, they're going to have their hand in your bank statements. They're going to have your hand in any properties that you own. They have their hands in your kids. They have your hands in everything. So they have a tremendous amount of power, a tremendous amount of power. So this is why they're angry, because it's like at one time they were the authority and now they're the ones that have to conform, or they did conform, and then the karmic like dumped them anyway. So that's where they are, and they know it's like it's going to be up to you if you want to forgive this person. And they also know that you'd be asking to forgive, like you'd have to forgive a lot. It's almost like that. And this person also needs to forgive, like what that karmic and themselves and whatever before getting into a relationship with you, because they're going to be angry still. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're a different person. This person is looking, in my opinion, for like a new person to take care of me. And they're angry because they no longer look like the authority. They know that wherever they go, that they're going to have to conform. But like I said, you have free will. So you may forgive this person because they may come across like a different person, almost as if they've done the healing. They haven't. What's different is that somebody humbled them. Somebody humbled them. But have they done the shadow work? No. So just for shit and giggles, because you have free will, it's a collective reading. I suggest don't go back with this person, but I'm gonna see like, what they would be like if you were in a connection with this person. Well, because of whatever you're doing, it's like this person would again give you a lot of attention. They would get a lot because there's nothing going on in their life. So they would actually give you a lot of attention and appreciation because you're actually like helping them. So it would start off like, remember, like appreciated. But is at this time, it's like they would be really unlikely to like, stay in that energy and unlikely to stay in that energy. It's like because unless they have a rebirth, and that's the thing. It's like this person needs to like do a full transformation. So again, it's almost like, well, and there is actually an emotional force where this person is actually going to like eventually do the work. See, again, like subconscious mind, layers, like developing new character. I feel like they are going to do the work, but like I said, I feel like you would have to hold them to a standard in order to do that work. Person doesn't just, and it could be because, hey, you already are in that light. You already are getting attention. You already are appreciated by people in your community. There is kind of like a little bit of a spotlight on you. So this person actually would try to like conform to like your way because they don't have an identity. So again, and they would be doing the healing work and open up. But it's all going to be up to you whether or not you forgive them. to me, I feel like, if you love this person, you have to still give boundaries. It's not an all or nothing type thing. In this story, it almost makes it sound like that you'd say, well, if the person made the changes, and they opened up and they were different, then you would be able to find forgiveness in your heart. I just feel like right now, that's is unlikely to happen. And it's like because they have to again work through all their bullshit. It's like again, and unless you want to deal with all their bullshit from whatever that past relationship did, um, it's a call, you know what I mean? It's your call. One more. Ugh. It's like unconditional love. So some of you actually might actually take this person back, because there's infinite love. Like it didn't change. It's like even though they did what they did, you still love them. So it's almost like, well, either I fuck myself by saying, well, no, I'm not going to be with you, or I kick myself because I am with you because it's like I really do love you. And so Spirit's saying, well, then just know that it's going to require true forgiveness on your hand to take this person back. And also, you have to set boundaries. You have to, again, like not just roll out the red carpet. That person needs to work their way back into your life because now is the time. If they're humble, they're going to put the time in it. That's what it says. It's like, so it's almost up to you because you're in the spotlight, right? So if you command certain things from this person, and I don't know, that might just be you're real busy in your community, it could be all eyes are on you. You have a lot of friends. This person doesn't have anything. So, or some of you could actually have an online platform. You guys can be seen as someone big. So this person wants to be with you because that makes them look better. But they're also easily molded at this time. But it's going to require you to forgive them and also set the boundaries. I have to tell you that even though there's no card that says set the boundaries, don't just roll out the red carpet. It's like because everyone's creatures of habit. It's like how you allow a person to treat you. And in the beginning, this person wanted to like not really do anything. So, and that's because they were attached to someone else. They still, you know, tried to get over. So this time that they're meeting you, they have to meet a different version of you. Still loving, still nice, but this time more boundaries, like making this person prove themselves a little bit. But they're going to do it if you allow it. I'm gonna leave off with one more card. And that is self-love. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like I attend to my own needs by listening to my heart. My inner essence lets me know what is good for me. I respect my limits. I answer the requests of my body and my soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. So Spirit saying, there's a part of you. It's again that, well, we didn't pull the inner child cards yet, which we will. But this is the again what you would need to do if this person comes back into your life. You would have to like make sure that it's all about you because this person doesn't know. They don't even know how to take care of themselves. So you have to like show them like who you are. You have to walk that walk and then demand it. Like I said, in the moment that it doesn't feel right, you know, um, the moment that it doesn't feel right is the moment that you have to turn to that person and say bye-bye, but they're gonna do it is what Spirit is saying is like because of where they are, they don't have nothing else going on in their life. Like you check off all the boxes. Trust me, it's just you need to be the leader. You need to be that person that and give yourself the self-love and teach by how you're treating yourself. and then still have compassion, still forgive, still, because even though that person doesn't deserve it, if you really love this person, what God is teaching you is that's what unconditional love looks like. You have unconditional love for that person, but what Spirit's saying is, I need you to have unconditional love for yourself, because what they wouldn't do for you in the beginning, because they were with somebody else, they taught you to do for yourself. That's why your life looks as good as it does now. That's why this person's coming back and saying, wow, you are a genuine person. You didn't fall for my bullshit. It's like you actually told me things that, came true. You actually told me and really had my best interest at hand. I look around at my life and I don't really see that there's that many genuine people. I thought I had a lot of options, but those options were all snakes. Those options weren't really good options. Those options were, people that I hooked up with, people that I didn't really pour into. Over the time, we might have not spent that much time, but whatever time we spent, you always like really talked to me like a friend. They was real. And that's why, again, this person is like, I trust you, where I feel like they don't even trust themselves. So that's why Spirit's saying is like, now would be the time. And you have to say, well, why did I attract that person into my life? I need to know why I attracted that person into my life. And the first card out is physical touch. And that's, you didn't get your emotional needs taken care of when you were a child, and you were oppressed. Someone tried to keep you down. Someone again was like, this is a mean way too. So your opinion doesn't matter. You don't matter. It's again like you're not important, which is what this person made you feel like. Pushed you right into your imagination, which is again that trauma response when we become detached or disassociated, is that we don't know what happened. We know, but there's no feeling one way or the other. And it's a part of the survival mechanism when we get stuck in fight, flight, freeze, when we get traumatized, it's that we kind of check out. We go into the imagination realm. Well, I kind of feel like that's what this person did with like all their games that they played. And that's why, like, there's a part of you that would really need to be able to forgive and maybe not want to forgive because you're like, well, everything that you did, you didn't care. They told, well, this person was a horrible person when you first met them, and they're going to admit that to you, and they're going to try and make it up to you. It's up to you, though. Water, again, growing up with someone that oppressed you, well, water is our emotional center, and it's also our relates to the second chakra, being able to go with the flow of life. Well, you can't really go with the flow of life when someone's controlling you, when someone is again oppressing you, when someone is again not giving you the emotional support. So I feel like it kind of was like the same exact thing with this person. It triggered all these past traumas, but it also, activated a gift, because when you can manifest easy, it's because you can imagine it, right? If you can imagine it, you can create it. And also the emotional center and not getting the physical needs, you're a sensitive, you're a highly sensitive person, which happens to need that emotion. So you're someone that gives, overdoes, over, because in it to get it back, because as a child you didn't get it. And so this person did all those same things. And then feeling like you can't have it when really Spirit says, no, you're actually a creative being. It's again the child that survives thrives, the imagination and pouring into your creativity is not just painting and drawing, it's like our creative visions, that it's our ideas, it's our essence. And so it's almost like Spirit saying, this is the energy that's going to help you manifest a new life, to create a new life as you imagine it. If you can imagine it, you create it, you're embodying it, you're doing it. So again, you didn't get the emotional support from anybody, and you still didn't. This person never came in, no one else came in. You did it yourself. And that's what Spirit says. You needed to do it yourself. You needed to pour your cup so that it overflowed, so that anyone knew that would come into your life, they only get the droplets. This person sees that and they're like, wow, look how rich your life is. And look how scarce my life is. It's like, but you are only to give this person the droplets because again, as long as you fill up your cup all the way, you'll be fine. You have to again continue to use your voice. Again, not being able to speak up, especially if you were like oppressed, obviously you weren't allowed to have your own identity. You weren't like, again, emotionally supported. You didn't feel that support. You didn't feel that unconditional love and understand there was unconditional love. But again, as a child, we're more sensitive. And when we're not getting that support from our parents and we're not getting nurtured from our parents, and if anything, our parents are angry and they want push their beliefs on us and they oppress us and say, no, I don't want you to take that dance class. I don't want you to take that music class. You need to take that math class. You need to do this. You need to do that. And sometimes it's not like abuse. What it is it's the parents like are projecting what worked in their life, what maybe they should have did in their life. So their fear is trying to like, project that onto you, and that's sometimes that's what the oppression is. It's not all the time abuse, but nevertheless, your emotional needs weren't met, and and you weren't allowed to develop your unique individuality, and you suppressed a lot of emotion, which makes you a highly sensitive person, and that actually needs that emotional and always needed that emotional support and never got it. It was a karmic theme that continued to play out because of that imprint. This person again really brought it out because there was a connection, and I don't think that you knew that there was someone there for a long time. If you notice, even in the story, that spirit hid the fact that there was someone there for a long time. You had an idea because you're like, I don't know why you're not giving to me, but I think that you thought maybe a few other people, maybe not one person. And so, or maybe the one person, but that the person didn't really have emotional connection to. Maybe you made excuses because this person made excuses. And so, but you finally got to a point where you're like, regardless, I'm still not getting what I need. And Spirit says, this is all about you going out and playing and finding yourself. It's like children go out and play, they find themselves, they're not like just depressed. When you go out and play, it's going to activate your imagination more and enhance your creativity. That's going to be very emotionally satisfying, but it's going to also help you connect to other people, is what Spirit's saying. That might be better choices than this person. And part of that would be their healing process too. You can't just heal this person alone. What Spirit says is if you want to be with this person, you can be with this person. But it's all about giving yourself the self-love that you need. And that means whatever's left over is what you can give to this person, which is the droplets. But that also means emotionally and through your own passions and through the other things, be invested in your own life. Be invested in your own life because you're going to, again, and by having fun. So when you're feeding what you love, pretty much, then the universe is gonna bring you more people and more situations. That doesn't just heal you, but if this person is looking up to you, they're also benefiting from it. But also, if they choose not to all of a sudden, you can easily drop this person because emotionally you're not giving too much to this person where now you feel obligated, now you feel like you should. No, it's like you're living life and you're interactive in life, and either this person rises up and brings something to the table and proves that to you while you're emotionally feeding you. It's not that you're not giving this person anything, but They need to be the one that comes in to give, and then you can again figure out what you want to give them. They have to prove themselves. So it doesn't need to be equal energy in the beginning. Hey, this person in the beginning didn't want to do that for you. It's like they are earning their trust with you. Believe me, if they really like you, they will. And why does it need to be done that way? Because the person has a closed heart. So the more that they give, the more that they open up their heart. They didn't want to give anything. They were comfortable not giving anything to the karmic or to you or to anybody, just being selfish. So where Spirit's saying now is about you, again, filling yourself up. That person did that counterfeit. They filled themselves up with their ego and hooking up and having not real authentic relationships because, hey, well, I'm stuck with someone I don't really want to be with. So but you're not you need to heal the same thing is what Spirit's saying. Remember, you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. So now it's about you having a love affair in your own life. Again, feeding your own passions, joining things, traveling, getting to know who you are, investing in yourself, like you said, making that cup fill up all the way. And so that other people and situations come into your life that are also going to help train your person to treat you with respect because they'll always see that if you're in your best energy, interactive, and people admire you now, it's because you're doing that. And guess what? The more that you do it, the more that people are gonna, and that's really what trains this person's ego. It's not just you, it's the fact that other men or women are coming into your life showing that like you're attractive. I like what you got going on. I find you interesting. All those things. It's like because it keeps that person on their toes a little bit. And that's not mean. It's because it takes a while to form an intimate connection, an emotional bond. And this person has disassociation. You have disassociation. You both have it. So you don't want the relationship to go 1,000 miles an hour. This person just played it out as a taker. You're the one that always is give, where Spirit's saying it's going to require you to actually set the boundaries. It's going to require you to actually take the driver's wheel and also make sure that you always think about yourself. And that's something that's difficult for you. Because you may say, well, I get my love and get my emotional fulfillment from giving. And the Spirit says, yes, you mastered that, but now you have to learn how to receive. And that's by, again, not being so available, not being so, and it's not being mean because what you want today is not what you're going to want tomorrow. And the thing is, if you train someone today, eh, like you never have to give me anything, you never have to acknowledge me, just because you like to be a giver today, eventually you're going to want to like get something back. And that's why that becomes a second chakra imbalance. It affects the intimacy. It affects the balance within the relationship. Because when we give, we that's a way that we keep our heart open. So your heart is open, but you have to again be able to receive because in that area it's not. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, Virgo. It was a little all over the place today. No. Talk to you later. Bye.